Houston, we've got a problem. And it's time we solve it. Welcome back. It's Heather from Happier at Work. I'm so glad you're here. We are going to talk about solving problems this week. Here's the key. The key to this one is that we solve our problems together. If you recall, if you've watched any of the videos on the channel, then by now you know that happiness at work is all about having really great relationships at work, but also getting results. We need both of those for happiness at work. So let's talk more about this. Now, we've got all sorts of problems, don't we? And chances are you don't need me reminding you of what they are, but let's just make sure we're clear about what sort of problems I mean. People problems. We got some cash problems. How did that happen that way? We have process problems. We have design problems. I know. Customer problems. Those customers. We've got a lot of problems and they're inevitable. Problems are going to come up at work. There isn't a single organization that doesn't have problems. I think we can all agree with that. So how do we solve these problems? Here I've convinced you, okay, I want to be happier and we got problems. I can be happier by solving my problems. Yes? Okay, so how do we do it? Well, I'm going to tell you about 3 different ways that you could solve problems in your organization. I don't have all of the answers, but I have some techniques for you. So 3 techniques for you to try. The first is really simple. It's an idea that I've seen put in play at a number of different organizations, small retail operations to service organizations, restaurants alike. I've seen this in a number of places. Very simple, bulletin board style. Post the problem on the board and ask for solutions from the staff. Everyone gets to contribute. Maybe you require a name, maybe you make it anonymous. But it's a way for people to get involved. It's physical in nature. Now this is assuming everybody's in one spot and you have the space to do it and so on and so forth. But also you could do this in a virtual environment as well. Maybe you're using Google and you put it in a Google Doc or something of that nature, Basecamp or whatever virtual platform you are working within. So that's one idea, problem solution board of sorts. Now, a next level to that, where there's a little more engagement and a little more discussion, could be to actually have a brainstorming meeting. And you might be thinking, really, Heather, another meeting? I don't want another meeting. I don't want to talk about this. Well, I'm sorry. Sometimes we got to do stuff we don't want to do. Now, this meeting, a brainstorming meeting, is different from other meetings. So the first thing is that you make it very clear that this is a meeting to generate ideas, that you invite people from different areas in the organization that have a different perspective on the problem. If you need new ideas, then you're going to need some new minds in the room. You set this up by explaining to the invitees that, hey, you've been invited to this meeting to help solve a problem. This is the problem, blah, 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 blah. Explain that problem out. Here's what the ideal outcome would be, what success would look like. Here's what we've tried or some things that we're considering. What is your feedback? What are your ideas? What am I not seeing here? There are some rules about this meeting. No one gets to say, oh no, that's a bad idea, that'll never work. No, nothing like that. We really foster an environment of sharing and contribution. You don't have to make any decisions in this meeting. You don't have to do anything with the information right then and there. Put it all together. Have some time to think it through if you need that time. Now maybe you have something that you are able to nail down and make a decision on it at that time. That's okay too. But my point is, don't feel pressured to make a decision right then and there on the spot. You don't even have to tell anybody, I don't like that idea. You can just say, thank you for contributing. The point is that you rally people around to give you some of their feedback, their perspective. They have a different lens than you do. And that can really lead to some great problem solving. Now, the last technique that I want to offer you will sometimes take some outside help. Consider a design thinking facilitator. I know a handful of people in my community that do this as part of their profession, and I'll tell you, they really have a process to facilitate innovation, new ideas, new solutions to problems that people have been trying to solve for a long time. If you have not experienced design thinking and been through a workshop yourself or the process yourself, look around in your community. Here in Honolulu, there's a number of resources out there, but nationwide and worldwide too, there are also many, many resources available. So, what are you gonna do? You gotta solve these problems. Maybe you're gonna hang a bulletin board. Maybe you're going to hold a brainstorming meeting, or maybe you're going to invite a design thinking facilitator to come do a workshop or exercise with your group. Whatever you choose, do know that the time that you invest in this is going to be worth your while. You're gonna be happier at work by deciding on something. Just decide and try it. Maybe it works, and hey, maybe it doesn't, but decide, do something instead of thinking about your problems and not doing anything about it. Here's a deal, Happy Doer. I want to know what you decide to do. I'd love to know some of the problems that you're working on and things that you're grappling with, so tell me, make a comment, leave a comment, shoot me a message. I'd love to hear from you. And for those of you who are thinking, that sounds pretty good, but I'm just not quite sure how to execute on that, go to the website, happiertd.com, click a button to schedule a call, and I would love to just spend a couple minutes walking you through on how to approach any of the options that I briefly discussed. That's a wrap, Happy Doer. I am so glad you're here. Thank you for always tuning in and giving me your time and attention. Please don't forget to share with your friends, family members, and coworkers. I will see you next time. Aloha.